and we're going to be drawing Shadow. We're going to be continuing, by the way. This is Shadow the Hedgehog, but this time he's going to be a little bit more realistic, and that's kind of my version of him. So let's kind of keep just jumping into it. I'm trying to make him look not like a wolf, but I mean it's kind of hard because what I really want to do with him is I really want to make him look realistic, kind of cool, kind of weird, but make you you know what I mean, make you feel kind of awkward and weird about it, like like where I see real versions of like cartoon characters I love as a kid, and it's like as a child or whatever, as a whatever, and it's like, dude, these are so like screwed up, and that's kind of what I want to do right here. But I also want to make them look not disgusting, right? It's not like that. Oh man, it's not like Ugly Sonic, right? That Ugly Sonic version was so hilariously bad. Before they remodeled it, that was different. That was like, man, they're gonna ruin this thing. One of the If you've never seen, I think it was Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, right? Or Chippendale's the movie. I think I forget what it was called. Rescue Rangers, the movie. That movie is it's like a movie. It's very Roger Rabbit inspired, but that movie is hilarious. And they have like a convention with like a Comic Con or something like that, where people are signing, and they have like these celebrities that maybe did like one or two things, giving out autographs, and they have Ugly Sonic there, and it is like one of the funniest things I'd ever seen in my life. But watch that movie if you haven't. That Rescue Rangers movie. It's so funny. It's so funny. All right, we're drawing little teeth on him, right? Because he is a hedgehog, but it's gonna have to have some edge on him. Edge on that hedge, right? Edge on that hedge. And come on, do some of the SpongeBob characters too. I'm just thinking about like realistic versions of some of the of characters that like I did a realistic Street Sharks, but those things are always cool looking, right? And I know that one got a really big reaction, but those are always neat. All right, over here. And it's gonna be a little bit of motion right there for the mouth, a little bit of skin folding a little bit for the mouth. And we're kind of gonna go back here. We're trying to keep our perspective as we're going along as well. You know, you don't want to be too I don't know, like you don't want to be you want to like take liberties, but you also don't want it to be completely it make no sense in as far as the physical form, because you're trying to get this guy to be, slightly, it sounds silly, right? Because he's obviously going to be stylized. I mean, realistic, right? Like quote unquote, but like he's still going to be super stylized. So, I mean, you want to like, as crazy as it sounds, make him slightly believable. But when you add certain details that exist in like, real life and nature, it does ironically make it, there's no irony, sorry. It does make it more believable. Where you're just like, oh, okay, I kind of buy into this, screwed up universe that that the character's probably in, you know um and it happens all the time, right? It happens all the time with cartoons, happens all the time with movies, happens all the time with like superhero movies or any of that stuff. And yeah, it's constant. It's always this constant flowing thing that's always going on. All right, going over here a little bit, right here. Okay, it's pulling back and kind of finding a little bit of the folding over here along. I want to find the folding over here so that makes, again, not just more believable, but again, I want him to show like he's got some tension in his face. And there's some on this side, but it's hard to like even it off on the other end sometimes. Okay, let's move down. I'm kind of thinking, all right, his brow is over here. Might make it a little bit lower. Let's go into his ears. I'm gonna go up over here on this side. Maybe throwing in a little bit of fuzz around certain areas. Like his ears over here. Yeah, just pulling that back. It's interesting too. Sometimes it's just like a feel of a drawing, right? Because when you're drawing, it's kind of about it's obviously about technical aspect of it. It's also a little bit about instinct. You're kind of following what has worked for you in the past, and like instinct is only developed through experience. Um, you can't always trust it, right? It's not. It has to be based on some form of like some other stuff going on. But we're talking about like an art form here, right? Um, there's like there is a science to this stuff, but I wouldn't say it's like entirely that. A lot of this is like what looks good and what doesn't look good, right? That's it. Like, what do you like to draw? What do you like to see? And kind of you want to project that out to some other people. You're like, I like looking at this, so maybe other people like looking at it, right? There's a lot of projection in a good way for drawing, at least, right? Projection in real life is probably pretty bad. I wouldn't say almost always, but most of the time it's pretty bad. But for drawing here, projection is a good thing. You're trying to say, hey, what do I enjoy drawing and looking at and seeing? Maybe other people like it, right? Maybe that's the way it's going to work. As far as a steady time for me to go live, there really hasn't been a steady time, right? It's been very haphazard and random, and yeah, really it hasn't been a steady time. I was gonna go live last night, like at 8 p.m., but I was like, you know what? It's just too late. No one cares at 8 p.m. The cool part is these things kind of go up afterward. They stay up afterward. Okay, I'm gonna fill in the nostril right here with dark, and I really want to get that filled in because I think it creates a one second. Excellent. Cool, cool, cool. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. Um, what did I say? Create something. By the way, with all these, I really want these to be casual. I know, like sometimes I'll go on here and I want to teach, and then some of these I just want to go on here and I just want to draw and like randomly hear people's thoughts, or I can randomly vent my own thoughts. All right, let's go over here, fill this in, and also this pen is a little bit slower than the other pens. Like this is not like a fountain pen. This is like a ballpoint pen. So this one's gonna. I'm building it up slowly, so it takes quite a bit longer. I feel. So yeah, that's the way I'm feeling right now. Let's see right here. All right, let's kind of keep going over here. Dang, he's got a crazy. Okay, now I want to put that little. What's that little chest hair thing he has? There you go. I want to tell. It's kind of gonna. It might tie things together too if I have it. Just gonna put up the shape over there. It might tie. It probably will tie things together. Actually, when you're kind of doing this stuff, you're. I think a hard part with these characters that have like these bobbleheads, right, like Sonic and all that stuff, is that when you try to make them look a little more realistic, it's gonna be tough because their head is so disconnected from their body as far as like unification. So when I look at like something like the Hulk, or if I look at something like a human character, they tend to have like this transition where there's the throat, which I did put in here. There's like the throat, and then there's like the neck, though, itself gives you a little bit of a transition from the head to the body, but you don't really have that with characters like Shadow or Sonic, right? They just have like a ball sitting on like another ball shape. And so when you try to, transition that into like slightly more realistic, whether that is just going to be tough to do. So you have to kind of give them like a neck or a little bit, kinda. Although I don't even know, do they even have like a neck in the movies? Like in Sonic 3 and Sonic and all them. I saw Sonic 1 and 2. I got to see Sonic 3. But because Sonic 3 just came out. But like in Sonic, do you remember if they had necks? Because I can't remember. I think they do. I could probably just Google an image right now, but I'm not going to do that because I'm busy doing this. Um, but it tends to be a little bit of a tougher sell if you want to just do like a design and they like have zero neck. But I think another thing though with Sonic is the rendering will, The rendering, meaning, how clean and everything is shaded and all that stuff, and how, the you can see little fur and all that, is what sells a lot of the movie stuff when it relates. If you want to learn anything in general, by the way, because I kind of forget here I'm teaching, but well, I'm kind of teaching. I'm more or less just kind of drawing for myself, like I was saying. But if there's anything you want to learn, let me know in the comments of any video, and I will totally go over it. I mean, the channel's new. I'm trying to create a new thing here, so I will totally pay attention to what. Only just found this channel. Well, thank you so much, Sunbeam. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, and if you guys have any questions, just ask them, and I go through the comments section, and I'll be like, all right, somebody wants to learn, God, what did they say last time? Kind of like depth. That's why I posted a video in depth. Most of my videos are just like lives on TikTok that I just repost, and then some I just kind of will do of my own accord. Um, but I almost always take into account the suggestions from here because this channel's so new, and I get like this is such a new channel. Like I used to post a lot way back, and there are more formatted videos, but I'm like, man, I just want to like doodle. I just want to doodle and talk and just randomly teach stuff that's out of my head. I hate like ultra prepping for everything, which I know there's a place for that. That's why I'm creating a program, I'm creating a how to draw program, like from basics, like a totally set up video program. Um, and I haven't, it's not out yet, but that's gonna be where that stuff's for. And I feel like this channel and stuff here would be more for, hey, how's it going, Dragon Legend? And stuff like that here would be more for, casual teaching and casual tips and stuff like that. That's just the way I feel. It's like the program stuff is for the more formal basics of kind of what you need to know. And then here you'll get plenty of tips. But man, I'm gonna make this guy ripped, I guess. Gosh dang it. Why am I doing that? It's like a habit. It's because I like drawing superheroes and stuff. I want to draw more of them now, but yeah, we're gonna make him buff. He would be in shape, right? Shadow would be incredibly in great shape. Okay, let's go over here to the spikes first, though, before we get into that. All right, we're going over here, pulling. Again, I'm pulling the same flow and direction right there. I'm like slipping into teaching here, and I'm like, I told you guys, it's just gonna be casual hangout. But I'm gonna just talk about teaching real quick. So with okay, it's furry. It's not hair, right? It's fur, right? Because if it was hair, it'd be, not that there's a difference, but hair is not like a flowing long hair of like somebody, right? Of like a woman or whatever. This is fur on top, like kind of all in one direction, right? It's on one big clump, and then there's little fuzz coming off it, right? So there is a difference. It's not gonna be flowing locks of hair like freaking, I don't know, Red Sonja or something. Um, by the way, did they have Sally in the movie? Was it Sally? Is that what it was? Wait, who's no, Amy. Sorry. Amy. Sally's from the cartoon, Sonic cartoon, right? From the 90s. That's Sally. Sally was a deer. No, 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 no. It was Amy, right? Did they have Amy in the third movie? Does anybody know that? I haven't seen it. Spoil that part for me. I don't think she is, right? Because they would have showed her. I want Amy in a movie. I feel like that's like the next if they ever do a 4. But like movies tend to be trilogies, right? So I just don't think there's gonna be another Sonic movie, but that'd be fun. But yeah, I would love Amy in a movie. That'd be really neat. Or everybody doesn't like Big Cat, but I kind of like Big Cat. I think he throws in a variety there that because all the characters are like, I don't know, similar body type. I think Big Cat's pretty cool. It's just like cool, like a big, totally different character. Or I would love, oh my God, I got to do this. I haven't done this. I think I did an old drawing of this way back, but I'm a lot better now, I feel. Um, I want like Robot Sonic. Is that what it's called? Mecha Sonic? Anybody remember the name of that? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I want to see more unique monster drawings. Yeah, I'll try it out, man. But like right now we're doing fan art. Right now we're doing realistic realistic shadow here, but there will be. Totally, yeah, I love monster stuff. I can tell you who inspired me directly too. I think he's online as well. That guy is Carlos Huante. That guy does amazing, amazing stuff. He was like so popular back in the day too. I just haven't heard about him as much. I don't know. I guess people like run their course on how popular they are. And my favorite artist is Dave Raposa. he did these super realistic Ninja Turtles way back, like these paintings, and I thought that was like the most amazing thing I ever saw in my life. And he's still around. He's pretty much like my art hero, that guy. I was on his Patreon for a while too, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just starts to, add up the money over time. I was like, it's cool. I saw enough of his stuff. I think that's the way everybody is, right? Eventually, you kind of just like, oh yeah, that guy's amazing. I'll see him for a while, and you like him for a long time, and then you just kind of like float on to the next person, and that's totally normal. It's like that with YouTube too. Like, just YouTubers that are non-artists, you just kind of watch them for a while. You watch like their whole library of stuff, and then you're like, okay, I'll go back to them whenever they, here and there when they release stuff. But right now, I'm good. Right. That's kind of the way I am as well. I'm gonna post a Mario drawing tomorrow, by the way. Not on live, but I'm just gonna post a live I did somewhere else. I'm just gonna post it there. I think that what I'm gonna do is these lives are always gonna be casual, the ones I do, and I'm gonna try to do these as much as I can. These, lives here. I'm gonna try to do them every day, but we'll see. But the weekend, as far as weekend posts go, I think I'm just gonna put like casual lives on just for the weekend, and then the other stuff will be for like learning. I think because I just want to relax at some point. I mean, I think when I'm like on too much, it just kind of burns me out. I want to just like sit and draw stuff. Right? That's kind of like what I want to do. I was like, I just want to sit and draw, guys. Christ, come on. Yeah. Should I have turned the camera actually? I think the camera is turned. Or I should have oriented it the other way, huh? I gotta figure that out. If I did that, this is the one time I'm orienting it wrong, by the way. I should have done it landscape, but I think now that we've gone too far and we're portrait mode here, yeah. Okay, let me see. Shadow. Let me see. What's he gonna be? He's gonna be okay. Now we gotta do his limbs. So let me zoom out a little bit. Wait, how do I zoom out? I can't zoom out. All right, let's go back. Let's pull the camera back a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Right here. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's do his body. His body. Okay, so he's just kind of running here. We got his leg over here. Remember, think of the body as tubes. Let's get some teaching here. Tubes. His legs are tubes, right? They normally have caricatured, how do you call it? Caricatured proportions, but I'm not going to do that as much here. I'll probably give him gigantic feet, actually. All right, right here. Man, it's hard to make his feet realistic with their giant. Let's see. Well, they're giant for his body type. Okay, a line over here, another tube over here, right? Going down the bent leg. And then so how do we run? Will we run? Yeah, I'll probably have my foot that way. You see the side of the foot. Huh. Okay. Over here, his hand is gonna have to make an appearance. So his hand's gonna be over here, and I want his hand to be big. And I want like another spike back there too. Maybe try to vary up the direction a little. Put a little bit of connector here. Okay. Dang, this thing's creepy. I think the more I look at it, I'm like, man, this is like really weird looking. Okay. And he's gonna be balling up his hand like he's like, what I mean? He's running. You're running. You're kind of got like a fist, right? As you're doing that. Do you have any advice for someone trying to grow an art channel? Yeah, a bunch. Oh my god, I have a ton of art advice. Oh my god, as far as building an art channel goes, first off, I would say number one, pick a niche. I found out that if you're drawing and you're drawing like in a giant fat marker, it's a different audience that like a how-to. It's a different audience than if you're like doing slow paintings. So for example, if you're doing like a slow painting of like I don't know, like a human, right? Or like a landscape, that's a totally different audience than somebody that just wants to draw like SpongeBob from, like in marker, right? So you're gonna have to pick one direction and go in it. Like you're like, oh, I'd rather do SpongeBob in marker, right? You pick what suits you. If you're more fine art oriented, definitely pick fine art. Pick do the other one. I'll do a bunch of landscape paintings or something. So just pick one and go with it because those audiences are different. I used to think they were the same. Like everyone likes art, but it's not. Totally not true. Totally not true. Number two. That's number one. Number two, let me see what's another one. I would say the number one thing, and I know you heard this everywhere, consistency is key. You have to consistently post. Because if you're posting once every, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, depending on what it is, it's just not going to be good. Well, honestly, okay, let me rephrase that. If you're doing very complicated videos where there's a lot of editing and 3 weeks is all you can do, post it every time at the same time on those 3 weeks. So if you're posting every third week, 7 a.m., you know what I mean? 7 a.m. On a Monday every 3 weeks has to be the Monday. Post it every 3 weeks on that Monday at 7 a.m. Does that make sense? So you don't just post it like the next 3 Wednesdays down at like 9 a.m., you know what I mean? Or like 9 p.m. You want to post consistently as far as consistent time goes. And then as far as I mean, post, if you're going to post, figure out how much you can post. If you're finding it very, very hard to post every, I don't know, 2 days or every whatever, post every week, right? Do what you can do. Measure out how much you can do because a lot of people will say, I'm going to post every day. And in reality, there's no way they can get that done. You know, in reality, they're just going to post every like 3 weeks or something. You just start to burn out and you forget. And just like the harder the task is and the more mixed up it is, you just start to kind of go, you know what? I forgot I was even doing that, right? So just consistency as far as time. Pick your time, whatever that is, whether it be once a week, twice a week. Maybe you just say, I'm going to post every Monday or Wednesday. Do that at 7 a.m. or whatever. I notice morning stuff does better. That's why I'm saying a.m. a lot, just naturally. Let me see his hand there. Dang. You know, and then just kind of like always just be consistent as far as that goes. So that's number two. Number three, yeah, this thing is more about managing yourself than managing the channel. So as far as like subject goes, you know, and all of that, pick a subject you like. Right? People will pick stuff to be trendy, and you can totally be trendy if you kind of like it. But if you really, really don't like stuff, don't draw like Jake Paul or, you know what I mean? Don't draw weird, trendy stuff if you despise it, because that's another way to burn out. You're just drawing stuff you don't like. You gotta draw stuff you're at least kind of okay with. Like, just like, you know what? It's all right, you know? But drawing what you like will keep you fresh and keep you motivated and keep you. Hold on. Does Shadow have gloves? Can somebody tell me that? He does, right? Does Shadow have gloves? Oh man, I don't want to. I don't want to look it up. I think he does. Somebody please tell me. Does he? Anybody here? Man. Okay, I think he does. Okay, forget it though. But I'm not gonna draw gloves on him. By the way, I really love Sonic the Werehog. That's the Werehog. That's another one. Yes, he does. Okay, thank you. I'm just not. I'm okay. He does. I'm gonna acknowledge. Thank you so much for telling me that. But I'm just not gonna put it because I think it looks better without it. And for this, you know. Okay. What's another thing as far as drawing goes? Honestly, if you just sit on those, then that'll be pretty good. Number two, as far as sorry, number two, number three, number four, whatever one, four, right? Another thing you got to decide. So the first thing was deciding your audience. Now you have to decide and your topic, and now you kind of have to decide how you're doing it. Are you just gonna do how do you say? Are you just gonna do like simple like watch me draw stuff like all the time, or are you gonna do tutorials, right? And you can definitely do. I would say pick about two things. If you're really making a lot of videos, pick two types of things. Pick. You could do those two. You could do like what I was saying. You know, sometimes you draw. Maybe like on the weekend you draw for fun, like I'm about to do. Just draw for fun and chat, and then like the rest of the week do constructive stuff. Have like maybe two buckets that you put stuff in. Almost every channel does stuff like that. Like for me on my I have another YouTube channel and it's called Easy Pictures to Draw. On that channel, what I do is I draw like you know, SpongeBob or whatever, like how-tos in marker for 3 days a week. Okay. And then for Thursday and Friday, I do character mixtures. They're still on marker and stuff, but I do character mixtures. So for example, I'll do like, what does Skibbity Toilet look like if he was mixed with Sonic, right? It's just like Sonic's head on Skibbity Toilet, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's a different thing, right? Than somebody that just came to the channel to want to draw Sonic in a normal format, you know? So, but there's two things. I do two buckets there, and I have the schedule for that. Again, That's more like advanced in the future when like you have that's really more in the future when you have like a rhythm first. You really first off the bat, you need that consistency first. And then you can start thinking about, you know, the other stuff. And I would say add all this stuff one at a time. So in the beginning, start with just the consistency part. Start with saying like, oh, okay, I'm able to post every whatever 2 days or every 3 days or every week, you know? Like start with that first, and then maybe like after a month, I'm not even joking. After a month of like, you know what, I'm pretty consistent. I don't think I'm gonna let this go. Add another one of those things in. Add like, okay, well now we're gonna do two things, you know? Because for me, for example, on the other channel, I have like several channels, but like three or four. But the three I really want to focus on is Easy Pictures, which is just marker drawings. This one, Sketch Monster Daily, right? And then there's another Sketch Monster channel where I just talk. It's only talking. And I want it to be only talking, plus I want to do a little podcast, right? Haven't got around to the podcast yet because I'm trying to see if I can be consistent with this, all this other stuff first, right? I'm testing myself and seeing. I had another kaiju drawing channel, but it didn't do that well, meaning it wasn't doing well enough for how much I was putting into it. And I was just putting in way too much time. I was posting literally every single day, but those were like sped up quick drawings. And I just couldn't, it just wasn't really paying off. So I just honestly, it's not shut down forever, but as of right now, it's on a hiatus. I need a picture of Shadow because I have no clue what else. I'm gonna probably end this soon because I gotta go, but and I'll continue this tomorrow or the next day. I need a picture of Shadow because I'm like, I forgot some stuff about him. I'm like, oh yeah, what does he have on his arm? Does he have anything on his arm? He's like baby arms, right? But I give him jacked arms here. Anywho, thank you so much, Sunbeam. And who was it? Dragon Legend, you guys, and whoever watched this, whoever sees it later, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna come back and try to finish this off next time, this sketch, and yeah, we'll talk later. All right. I'll probably be back tomorrow. See you later.